Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Tuesday afternoon. It is a lovely day outside. And I decided, well, I'm letting my food settle. And before we go out and put up lights on the house, then I do some reaction videos. All part of my Tis the Season 2 Be Scary marathon. So, we did King Frostmare last time. So, how about we do the man himself, Chills? Do a couple of his videos. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Oh my. Let's see. These are the 14 scary videos captured inside church. Ooh, now I've never seen this one before, so this should be interesting. Alright, you guys ready? Oh yeah, before we begin, don't worry, I'll leave the links to the original videos in the discussion in the text box below. And if you like them, please leave a like, subscribe, and you know what? If you like what you see with Chills, leave a like and subscribe to him too. Alright, this is the 14 scary videos captured inside church. Oh boy. You guys ready? I think I am. Without further ado, away we go.
Churches are holy places, but in these churches, something more nefarious seems to be afoot. From shadowy figures to statues that cry, these are the top 14 scary videos captured inside churches. Number 14, Ghost Congregation. Who is sitting beside you in the church pew? Posted by Memo Metalhead in November of 2017, this creepy old video shows a congregation that, at first glance, appears completely normal. As the camera scans the congregation, one child is seen sleeping, other congregates are wrapped, others are dozing, and then there's the scary phantom specter sitting candidly in the last pew.
This thing is shot with a potato.
The figure is covered in a white sheet and appears slightly transparent. Close up and with higher contrast allows us a glimpse of its face as well. Could this be a ghost? Or perhaps a demon? Number...
Potato ghost. Oh, so let's look at that again. Excuse me. I'm getting over this and it's just slow, but let's see. Alright. That looks more like CGI to me. I mean, who is videotaping inside of a church? I mean, come on. Or a church building, I should say. The church building is just a building. The people are the church. We are the church. And yes, I would know that because I'm a Christian. But anyway, yeah, I'm going... That looks way too CGI for me. I mean, somebody just was bored and had a lot of time on their hands. Ooh, unlucky. Let's see what this is.
Number 13, Weeping Statue. The Our Lady of Guadalupe Church in Hobbs, New Mexico has a miracle on its hands. Published in May of 2018 by KOAT, many flocked to the church after its statue of Mary, the Mother of Christ, began to weep. This clip shows a close-up of the miracle in progress. Our Lady of Guadalupe is wept before, 4 times to be exact. The hollow bronze statue was closely examined to try and uncover why and how this was happening.
que a través de la intercesión de esta niña santa, nuestra Virgencita de Guadalupe, el Padre le ha concedido en el...
Samples were collected and sent to a lab for analysis, and it was discovered that the liquid was olive oil in a scented mixture used in baptisms and other religious ceremonies. Our Lady of Guadalupe is the patron saint of Mexico. When statues weep, it is often seen as a sign of something terrible to come. What is this statue warning parishioners of? We can only guess.
You know, they said that she's a hollow bronze statue. I think I know why. They have it fixed, and they have it fixed well enough that people don't see it, that there's a pump inside the statue, and it slowly secretes olive oil and water. You know, I hate when people mess with people's minds, especially religious people. You know, come on, guys. You know you did this. You did this. It's fake. And you fooled these poor people. Come on.
Number 12, Figure in White. It appears the bride has arrived. Published by Brakeman in July of 2019. An evangelical congregation in Honduras was putting on a spiritual retreat when they captured this strange figure on camera. The group is dancing together, jumping around with the festivities.
Shop with potato.
But then an uninvited guest appears. A scary figure dressed in white breaks through the mayhem, seeming to cast the others aside. The others, who are all dressed alike as if in uniform, don't even seem to notice the stranger's presence. Is this a mystical revelation, or simply someone who insists on standing out from the crowd? I think it could be both.
Well, if it was shot on a better camera, we might be able to get a better look at it.
Number 11, Bell Tower Shadow Figure. What is that in the bell tower? Published by Cherry Wolf in April of 2017, this video was originally posted by the Daily Star. A tourist was waiting to enter the Vatican when out of the corner of his eye, he spotted something concerning. A creepy shadow figure perched in one of the bell towers. The dark figure appears to have wings and seems to be peering down from the tower on the crowd below. Would a demon dare to touch down in this holy place? Some think it may be the ghost of someone who jumped from the tower. While it's unclear what this being is, we know for sure what it isn't. That's definitely not an angel of God. No.
Or it could be CGI. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize to all you Catholics out there, but I'm Church of Christ, and I do not trust the Vatican at all. I do not trust them at all. They're still the Roman Empire. It's still the Roman Empire. When they first started out, they were the conquering Roman Empire. Then in the Dark Ages and Middle Ages, they were the Holy Roman Empire. And they hid behind in the face of God and Christ. But it's still the Roman Empire. And now, instead of their gods, Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, and all that, they use the apostles of God and Mary, Mother of Jesus, as their gods and goddesses. Think about it. Think about it. There are places of power, and that's one of them. But I guarantee you that most of they're out for their own good, not for the glory of God or Christ. Remember, guys, even though it's Old Testament, remember what God told Moses on the mountain when he wrote the Ten Commandments. I am the Lord your God. Thou shalt not have any other gods before me, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. Remember that. Don't believe me? Look it up. Do your research. Don't just take my word for it. Do your biblical research. You know. Remember also, Christ also told his disciples, when you do things, do not be like the hypocrites. These guys are the new hypocrites. They dare proclaim the Pope to be God on earth. Who else? What other empire proclaimed a ruling man to be a living God on earth? Rome, and that was Caesar. The Pope is the new Caesar. I mean, come on, guys. It's not that hard to figure out. Now, I'm sorry. If anybody asks me, oh, wouldn't you love to go to the Vatican? No. If I'm going to Rome, I'm going to see some of the other sites. The Vatican, I'm not setting a foot at the Vatican. I don't trust them. They have kept a lot of things from us, which they shouldn't have. Now, don't get me wrong, there are probably some people in the Vatican that are good people. And they've probably some of the things they've probably kept from us have probably been for our own good. To keep us safe and protected. And yes, there are people like that in places like that, where they truly feel that they want to be protective of the people and keep us safe from evil. But you can't keep us safe from evil forever. Now, remember what Christ told us. What has been done in secret will be revealed to all. Something like that. It was either him or it was the Lord. It was either him or the Lord or one of the apostles that said that. I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and read that up. But yeah, what has been done in secret will be revealed to all. So, alright, okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I probably stepped on a few toes right here, but I had to give in my 2 cents. Okay. All right. Moving on. Number 10.
Number 10. Levitating host. God works in mysterious ways.
Yes, he does.
Published by Breakman in February of 2019. This scary video shows a priest in the middle of a normal consecration of the Eucharist. As he prays and places his hands over the host, the bread seems to levitate for a moment.
Sanctifie ces offrandes en répandant sur elles ton esprit, qu'elles deviennent pour nous le corps et le sang.
Jostling slightly before settling back down on the plate. Nothing nearby appears to be touching it. So what caused the movement?
Invisible wires.
Is this a divine miracle during a routine consecration?
I doubt it.
Or is this a trick of bad pixelation? No.
Probably a trick of bad pixelation.
Number 9. Christ opens his eyes. In the chapel of the Cathedral of Saltillo in Mexico stands an engraved statue of Christ, but there's something different about this statue. Published by Dimensional Paranormal in August of 2016, said statue hangs on a cross above an altar. The statue appears still and lifeless at first, until he blinks. Examine the statue's face as the camera zooms in to get a closer look. The creepy statue undeniably opens its eyes. They are wide and uncanny and stare blankly ahead for a moment before falling closed again. Is this a miracle? A scary trick of the light? I'm not sure what exactly could be causing this. No.
CGI. Somebody got bored and they decided to put CGI on a statue after taking a video of it.
Number 8. Ghost in former church. Michigan's Atwater in the Park Brewery is a renovated former church. and a haunted one at that. Published by Click on Detroit, Local 4 WDIV in April of 2018, a paranormal investigation conducted by Detroit Paranormal Expeditions claims to have caught a ghostly apparition on camera. The original church was built in the 1930s and has a history to match, as many of the brewery's employees confess to experiencing paranormal encounters there. This one was caught on camera. While the group is standing inside the church, a white object can be seen flying overhead. It appears in the darkness for just a moment before disappearing altogether.
I was going to say, they've got spirits in there, maybe not the type that they think they do. But then I saw that, and I'm like, oh, wow.
The newscasters called psychics to get their sense of what this winged object might be. Those who commented on the video said it was angelic and protective, all of which points to a positive energy. I'm sure the brewery is grateful that their ghosts aren't bad customers.
Well, and maybe they're right, it's said that every church building has a guardian angel watching over it, keeping it safe, keeping the congregation safe. So they say. Excuse me. Now, as far as I'm concerned, as far as a church building goes, I'd rather not have any spirits inside that church building. It's a place of worship. But, a place is a place, so, you never know. If they're good spirits, if they're spirits of like former deacons or elders or something like that, who just want to keep an eye on the congregation, or old saints from the old days who like to keep an eye on the congregation, make sure they're safe, I can understand that. That's just as long as it's not evil spirits. Then we got a problem.
Number 7, Phantom Pianist. This phantom musician is quite a piano virtuoso.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing this.
2007.
Yeah.
The scary video is captured inside a chapel in the woods at night. The chapel is said to be haunted, so the guys gathered their courage and headed inside. When they open the large wooden door, they find everything inside is wooden as well. From the pews to the ladder they intend to climb.
Someone's gonna fall out of there.
Hey, come on, don't cuss inside a chapel.
As they're standing there debating whether to climb it or not, distant piano music is heard.
Oh my god. Turn
Wow, that's playing really well.
They shut off their flashlights, thinking they're no longer the only ones in the chapel. Then they take a peek into the next room, where they see the phantom player. Scared out of their wits, they decide to make a run for it. As they run past the ghost, he doesn't stop playing, yet.
Oh my god.
Once they get outside, the music stops and the sudden silence is even creepier.
The music stopped playing.
I bet I can tell you why the music stopped, or why the music started in the first place, and why there was a phantom player there. You see he's dressed in black. I bet it's the caretaker, and he or she knows how to play the piano, and to mess with the boys' heads and make them realize, hey, you're not supposed to be here, and decide to sneak in and start playing the piano to give them a little thrill and cause them never to come back in here again. I mean, think about it. Pretend you're a ghost and play the piano. I doubt anybody will ever want to come back in that chapel again.
Has the ghost given chase? I'm gonna take that as a yes.
And maybe they have. Oh!
Number 6.
Yep. And then as a final reminder to tell them to get out and stay out, they came after him. Now, I think that was the caretaker, or I think that was the caretaker of the place. Tell them, hey, you guys aren't supposed to be here. Get out. Unless you have permission to be here, you're trespassing. Which I have to commend, if that is the caretaker doing all that, I have to commend them for that. You know, they could have done it in a lot more violent way. You know, they could have threatened them with a gun, or they could have threatened them with a knife or a bat. But nope. That's a very creative way to get people off your property.
Mysterious figure. This one you'll just have to see to believe. Published to the Irish Mirror, this mysterious capture is credited to Karen Furlong. Furlong lives across from St. Mary's Church in Wexford and often takes photos of the church as she thinks it's quite beautiful. It was snowing one night when she ran out to snap a few pictures.
That thing needs a roof over it.
After posting them on social media, Furlong spotted something haunting in one of the shots, what appears to be a figure trapped inside the wall. Zooming in on the image, she was even more sure that she captured something supernatural. Locals theorize that a dungeon used to be situated beneath the church, and this ghost might have been a former prisoner.
Well, that's not good.
Some say a tunnel leads beneath the church to the River Barrow, built in the early 13th century. There's no doubt that St. Mary's has a few tales to tell. Furlong originally thought that the creepy figure was a monk, but decided it looked more like a woman in despair. What do you think this could be? Whatever it is, it's trapped in stone and can't get out.
I think it was just a trick of the light, but yeah, I can see why they would say it looks like a woman in despair.
Number 5, Nest Church Ghost. Nest Church in Litchfield, Minnesota is rumored to be haunted. Published by Red Hand Rejects in October of 2012, this scary video seems to substantiate those claims. Filmed around 8 p.m., a group of ghost hunters is wandering a graveyard when they turn off their camera light for a moment so as not to be observed by the nearby combine. When they turn the light back on, they witness this.
It's just the light. It's a spirit. What the f is that? What the f is that?
A ghostly transparent figure appears to be standing very close to them, while one of them asks, "What was that?" The cameraman writes that he didn't see it at the time, but recalled feeling strange at this point when they later discovered the figure in the footage. The other strange thing is that the creepy figure seems to be drifting. Many in the comments who know Nest Church and its grounds agree that it's haunted, including YouTuber Jennifer Horseman, who writes, "I've been there a couple of times, and from my experiences, I would have to agree that this place is definitely haunted. Does this transparent ghostly figure convince you that the rumors are true?" Number 4, Unwelcome.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably haunted.
Figure convince you that the rumors are
I can barely see it. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
true. Number 4, Unwelcome Guest. Now I know I've talked about this incident before.
Oh,
but for
yeah.
this topic, I must bring it up again. Picture this, you're in church when you see this unwelcome guest enter the sacred space. Published by Real Bizarre in June of 2020, this creepy demon creature is all too real. The photo went viral in 2018, and while the pastor never once saw the creature in his church, some in the congregation said it attended Mass regularly. Those who did see it prayed incessantly that the demon would leave. Eventually it did. I guess you can chalk it up to the power of prayer, or maybe the demon finally realized he wasn't welcome. Number
Well, I was going to say it was a doctored up photo, but if there were other congregation members who said they saw it, well, that's a different matter. I'm not too sure about that.
3. Ghost Bride. Do you take this creepy ghost bride to be your lawfully wedded wife?
Whoa,
Published in March of
hello.
2020, Exploring with Danny heads into an abandoned church built in 1870 by William Henry. He notes that ghost sightings have been reported here, as well as screams at 3 in the morning. Let's take a look at what Danny found. After circling the church a few times trying to find a way in, Danny finally enters through a tiny window. The place is really broken apart. The crew has to walk across planks over open flooring to navigate around the old church. The atmosphere is haunting. You can hear water dripping from somewhere as the boys wander around the scene. Pigeons are all around the rafters, cooing and making a racket.
Them pigeons are going crazy.
But when they both hear another noise, footsteps and a bang from another room,
Shh, bro, what is that noise? Is that pigeons?
I don't think so. That's the door shutting.
Did you hear footsteps?
they know they aren't alone. At one point, they are facing a graffitied wall with a doorway to a room beyond. Something moves in the doorway as Danny shouts hello.
Hello?
At first, he doesn't know what he's looking at, but when he swings the camera back, he gasps in horror.
Whoa.
What's up, bro? Get out of here, people!
Appearing there is a woman in white who seems to be holding her own head. The guys flee from the ghost bride before they've said their vows. Number 2.
Ew. Whoa. Let's take a little closer look at that.
But when he swings the camera back, he gasps in horror.
Ooh.
What's up, bro?
And she's gone.
Get out of here, people!
Appearing there is a woman in white who seems to be holding her own head. The guys flee from the ghost bride before they've said their vows. No.
Wow. If that's fake, that's one hell of a fake. I don't know.
Number 2. Evil abandoned church. You know that tingling sensation you get when the energy in a place feels absolutely evil? These urban explorers feel it inside this abandoned church. Published in March of 2020, this crew heads to the south of Wales to what they claim is an evil abandoned church. You're about to see just how evil. After climbing into the enormous stone church through a small window, they find they aren't the first to have explored the creepy old building. Clearly, many people have been here before because it is covered in graffiti, including this, and this, and this. The dark, damp rooms give the place an evil feeling, as the cameraman notes. He says he's sure there are hauntings in here.
Guys, I think there's hauntings in here. You can't get through that gap. Yeah. Is it?
What do you think? Does this old ruin feel haunted to you? If the energy is evil like they say, I'll be staying far away from this place.
Well, all I know is that there are places on this world that were meant for our enjoyment, for us to go to and spend time together, or just spend time by yourself and drink in the beauty and serenity of the place. And then there are some places where you don't go by yourself. You go with your friends, you go with your teammates, and you make sure nobody goes anywhere alone. They always stick together. And then there are some places on this world that you stay away from. There are some places on this world that were not meant for us to trespass upon. I strongly believe that with all my heart and soul. And I know there are several other people out there too who believe that. Excuse me. As beautiful as the place as Pennsylvania was, I have to agree with my late mother. There were places that we went to that it didn't feel right. It did not feel right at all. I wanted to get out of there. I mean, it's. Whew. You'll know once you feel it. And you don't have to be psychic to do it. I mean, everybody's got a little bit of a sixth sense, but I tell you what, you'll know it when you feel it. So, all right. Mr. Chills has a challenge for us. Subscribe. Oh, by the way, YouTube's been emailing us new changes to their policy, so unless you want to be screwed by them, you might want to read them up. You might read up on it. So, just saying.
Chillin' is chillin' YT, and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1. He is risen. Saint Joseph of Cupertino was an Italian Franciscan friar and mystic who is said to have levitated miraculously during his lifetime whenever he experienced visions. This image, which is trending in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community, is believed to be Saint Joseph resurrected. A clip published by Breakman in October of 2021 explains that some believers claim that this image has captured the actual appearance of Saint Joseph rising into the dome inside this Catholic church. His dark figure doesn't mesh with the rest of the lighter artwork in the church dome, which has some convinced that he isn't part of the church decor, but rather a being in the flesh. What do you think? If this is a person, then I think something more powerful has to be in control here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I'm not too sure about that at all. Not too sure about that at all. There's a lot. Unfortunately, there's a lot of deception going on in the church. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but it is. Scariest video to watch this Halloween. Oh, that's over an hour. Ooh, boy. Well, let's see here. Let's see what else we've got. Let's visit Mr. Chills here and see what we've got here. I think I've already done these. Let's see. Let's do one of the... Let's do an older one. Siren Head sightings. Somebody's taking this creepypasta a little too far. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. I'm running out of time here. Let's see. How about 11 scary random encounter videos? How about that? Yeah, we'll do that. All right, you guys ready? I'm ready. Let's go.
A scary random encounter, by definition, can happen anytime, anywhere, instantly transforming an otherwise pleasant moment into the most terrifying instance of your life. Number 11. This video begins with a man approaching and yelling at these two teenagers. The man seems very upset and appears to be holding a large rock.
We're just walking. Yeah, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're both intimidating little and I don't get intimidated easy. What have we done to you? Don't you come and... Don't touch me.
He tells the teenagers to leave immediately, but they are unsure what they've done wrong. The man never seems to give a clear answer, but repeatedly tells them to take off, still while holding the rock. He swings back at one point, but luckily never uses it. What's really scary about this video is how unpredictable this man is, and how he seems to be reacting like this towards the two friends for simply walking down the street.
That guy needs to be committed to an asylum. Now, he has no business being on the streets, and no business threatening young people like that, especially if they're just walking down the road.
Number 10. Florida resident Candace Spivey was shopping at Target when she was approached by a stranger. This man started a polite conversation with her, but something was wrong. The same man had done the same thing to her earlier at a grocery store.
Do you remember running into me in the grocery store? No, hey, where are you going? Come back. Hey, you get this guy. Stop him. Stop this guy. Stop him. Stop that guy. Call the cops. Call the cops on him. Call the cops.
As soon as she confronts the man on it, he takes off and she follows him out of the store. Apparently, this was a registered offender who secretly recorded women. This just goes to show you never know who the real person is behind a polite stranger.
No,
Hopefully this man
unfortunately.
stopped his horrible actions after being publicly confronted like this.
I doubt it. No, people like that are just, oh boy.
Number 9. Two friends are walking down the street completely unaware of a scary paranormal encounter waiting to unfold at random.
Right here, look at it. Look at it. Look at it. It's following them. Look at it. Look at it.
A strange black mist
Yeah.
slowly descends out of nowhere. I do find the timing to be an eerie coincidence and agree this could be paranormal. With that said, the friend on the right seems to sense an apparition more than he sees it. He doesn't necessarily look terrified, but he does bring his hand up to his chin as if he is uncertain of something nearby. The other friend does not appear to see anything at all. If this was a ghost, then maybe the camera was recording something that neither one of them could fully perceive. Then again, this looks like it could be an out-of-focus insect walking along the camera lens. Let me know
That
which
does.
possibility you think is the real answer.
I think one of them was a ghost, and the other one was an out-of-focus insect. Maybe it was somebody the kid knew. It was the ghost of somebody a kid knew. Yeah, never know.
Number 8. YouTuber X Hurtari is hanging out with some friends in a cul-de-sac when they encounter an angry woman who seemingly confronts them for no reason.
Crazy Karen.
You don't know where I live.
It won't be hard to figure out. You're out all the time.
I don't know you.
Okay. That's threatening a minor. That's threatening a minor. Verbally threatening a minor. You know, people learn from idiots like this. Watch what you say. Watch what you say. Close your mouth. And if it's none of your business, move on. Leave people alone. Because something like that can get you arrested. If anything, it can get you reported. And cops will be on the lookout for you.
You gonna? I tried to apologize. Quit walking towards me. Quit walking towards me.
At the start of the video, he is apologizing for something and tells her to have a good day, but it isn't clear what he is apologizing for. Over the next 4 minutes, this woman angrily rambles at the boys, while the YouTuber tries to calm down the situation. Things get scary when the woman starts to drive off, but stops and begins reversing towards the boys in the street. In the end, nothing gets resolved between the groups and the lady eventually drives off.
Okay, that's what, if she hit one of those kids with the car, that's assault with a deadly weapon. You know, it never ceases to amaze me how stupid some people can be. No, you can go to jail for that. Gosh, what an idiot. Dumbass Karen.
The question remains is why was this woman so upset?
She is a homicidal dumbass Karen.
And we may never get the answer to that question.
Who didn't know when to leave well enough alone and mind her own business.
Number 7. This body cam footage begins with an officer making his way up apartment stairs before he is met with a man behind a door holding 2 kitchen blades.
Is there anything I can reasonably say or do, okay, that's going to help me and help you to put those knives down?
The officers tell him to stay calm and to put what's in his hands on the ground. The man refuses and the officer further pleads with the man. Eventually, they resort to taking this man down by any means necessary, and they successfully take him into custody. I'm sure cops have some of the scariest random encounters, and who knows which future ones will be captured on body cam. Maybe it'll be something even more intense than this encounter.
Yeah, people have no idea how hard it is to be a police officer. No matter where you are, whether it's America, England, Europe, Asia, South America, wherever. It is extremely hard.
Number 6. A kid is checking out his loose tooth in the mirror when his reflection appears to move away before he does. It happens in a split second, so you have to look closely to see it. Maybe it's just the angle, but the reflection really does appear to lean away while the child himself remains stationary. Everything from an optical illusion to a haunted mirror has been proposed with no concrete answer. So if you know the proper explanation, then be sure to let me know.
I'm not so sure about that. Either it's a trick done with CGI, or it's a trick done with mirrors, or I don't know. Now, there's a lot of special effects tricks out there that you can pull, and you'd be surprised how simple some of them can be.
Number 5. A lady in a car confronts this group after she believed they were making rude comments about her daughter. The group of boys try to argue that she is mistaken and they have done nothing wrong. The woman seems not to believe them, and that's where things get heated.
I'm just trying to look to where you live. Why? Why? I live. You're not coming to my house. I want to talk to your parents. Are you going to cry? You're not coming to my house.
She parks her car in the road and comes right up to the group. They begin to argue back and forth and nothing gets resolved. The police were eventually called, and that's where the video ends. It remains unclear if the boys had done anything wrong, or if the woman was acting like this for no reason. Number 4.
Sounds like another Karen. Yeah, she mistook this group for the wrong people.
A YouTuber named Teddy.
You know, I also take this time to say, you know, idiots like her ought to be thankful that kids like that know better. And she better be damn thankful that none of them were armed, either with a blade or with a gun or with a bat or anything. Because there are kids out there, and there are people out there even, who will only tolerate so much, and then at a certain time, whap, or pow pow pow, you know. And I don't care who you are. You think you're bugging, if they think you're bugging them or wasting their time just because you think you can, they're gonna make you think otherwise with either a swing of a bat, a stab from a knife, or the bullet of a gun.
Saka Vive goes to check out an abandoned house. A youth is acting like this for no reason. Number 4. A YouTuber named Teddy Saka Vive goes to check out an abandoned house but doesn't get any further than the front porch. First, his friend says that he sees someone's face looking down at them from a window above. Teddy doesn't believe his friend until he shines the flashlight at the window and catches a glimpse of it for himself. It's hard to notice at first, but at the 27-second mark he does manage to capture the brief image of a woman's face, her mouth hanging wide open in a silent scream. What's especially creepy is that there's no face in the window on the first pass of his flashlight. It is only when he passes over the window a second time that the face randomly appears. Number 3, a YouTuber called Are You Amazed decides to try an urban legend, which, if done correctly, will transport him to the spirit realm after pressing floor numbers in a special sequence. Nothing seems to be happening until he presses the last elevator button, which, as you can see here, is clearly a 6. They start to get scared when the elevator hits the 6th floor and promptly keeps moving.
Yo, I pressed 6. Yo, where is he, man?
The door gets stuck for a while on the 11th floor and then suddenly opens. A strange man they have never seen before is standing before them with clasped hands and a knowing look on his face. What's weird is how the man doesn't even seem to get into the elevator. As they step around him and rush down the stairs, Are You Amazed still not as sure exactly what happened, or if the scary random encounter was supernatural. I guess the person waiting for them could have just been a normal guy waiting for the elevator.
Yeah, probably.
And if that's the case, then I'm not sure why it didn't stop at the 6th floor first. Also, I should say that the number 11 is considered an unlucky number in many cultures. So it might not be a coincidence that this is the floor they stopped on.
You know, you can only punch so many buttons at a time. You know, you overwork the console board on an elevator. It's going to get confused. And when it gets confused, like Jones said in Hunt for Red October, it sort of runs home to mama. You know, and it'll get confused and it'll screw up. So, you know, that's why you need to be careful. This is delicate equipment, guys. You know, it's equipment that's supposed to get you from one floor to the next. You know, it's not a toy for idiots like this to play with.
Number 2. A YouTuber named JackCKXX is exploring an abandoned factory with some friends when they come across stairs leading to the upper levels. Something feels incredibly off about the place, but none of them want to look like the scared ones, so they all move deeper into the complex. They search around for a few minutes and don't find much besides an old picture. The factory has been abandoned for well over a decade, yet it feels like something is watching and following them at every turn. Finally, one of them has had enough and doesn't care about being brave anymore. He looks down a pitch-black hallway and says,
Jack, I think we should leave.
Now they are sure something is nearby and they start speaking in hushed whispers. It's hard to tell what they are saying, but it's clear that they are quite ready to get out of here. Meanwhile, whatever is watching them from the shadows is no longer worried about staying quiet and seems to be approaching fast. There's nothing left to do except find the nearest exit and get out. But everyone is too scared to think anymore, and they remain frozen in place, listening in terror as footsteps draw near. Finally, something scares them into immediate action. They all run as fast as they can and quickly make it out of the factory in less than a minute. I have no idea what could make that noise, but I'm almost positive it wasn't human.
That is strange. That is strange. You know, I guess that's a perfect example. You know, there's no telling what you're going to find in places like that. So sometimes it's just better to just not throw caution to the wind and just stay away from places like that.
My new music video, Stranger, was recently released. Could I get your honest opinion on whether it's good or bad? Tap the circle icon in the top right corner, then tap My Music Video to watch it. It's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person, so if you're generous enough to hit that subscribe button and the bell beside it, then thank you. This way you'll be notified of the new videos I upload every Thursday and Saturday.
Like I said, you know, leave a like and subscribe. You know, and if you would, and like I said before, if you won't mind, you know, leave a like and subscribe on my channel too, if you don't mind.
Number 1. After Snapchatting, a kid knocked down some stuff with a soccer ball. The boy's father confronts this teen over it. He deletes the Snapchat, but the father wants the police called. He tries to run, but the father grabs his waist and tells him he's not going anywhere.
I'm not filming your kid. You're not moving anywhere. He's holding me up against the back. Hey, sir in the red hat. Yes, sir. Hey, can you come back, please? Yes, sir. Call him. Call him. Call him. Nobody's touching you. You hold me up against the back. You cuss me out and film.
The guy recording is obviously frightened at this point and tries to leave multiple times, but is always grabbed and stopped by the father. An officer eventually arrives, and after hearing what happens, he says what the teen did isn't against the law and tells him to take off.
So I am going to ask you to leave, and if something's on there, I ask you. I'm not telling you, please delete it. Yes, I know it's gone. I promise you. Get out of here. Leave the store. Thank you.
I think it's understandable that this father didn't want his son being recorded, but he handled the situation in a way that made this encounter way worse for everyone. It's...
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, I understand you wanted to be protective of your children. Yes, I understand. You know, I don't think what the kid did was meant to be offensive in any way. I think he was just testing out his camcorder. You know, he immediately deleted the video. But yeah, like what Chill said, you know, the dad took it way too far. You know, that's something you should never do. But anyway, let's see here. It's 3:14. It's 3:14. Time to put up some lights before it gets too dark. Okay, guys, that's going to be it for right now. I'll do some more later. And like I said before, I'll leave, when I upload this, I'll leave the links to the original videos in the description box below. And if you like what you see, please leave a like and subscribe. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Until then, you guys stay awesome, alright? Alright, see you around.